Buenos dias, 7th grade. Welcome to your last ed puzzle, your last set of notes, the last new thing you have to learn in this class. This should be very exciting for you. You have come so far, and I'm going to take you one step further. So let's do it. So it says, so far you've learned about verbs in Spanish where the subject tells us who does the action. Underline the word subject for me, please. For these verbs, we use the following pronouns. So subject is just a fancy word to tell us who does what in a sentence. So these are our subject pronouns. And in a sentence, of course, we would always say somebody has to do the action. It's either going to be I, it may be you, it may be he, it may be she. In Spanish, we have usted. It may be we, it may be they, both ways, or it may be y'all. I don't want to leave nosotras out. Okay, so I think we can it's all safe to say that if you have been in this class, you should know this by memory at this point, right? These are our subject pronouns. So this is who does the action. I think, you go, he walks, she thinks, you play, we swim, so on and so forth. So most verbs in Spanish are going to use these subject pronouns. Here's a couple of examples. When I say tú cantas, that's how I would say you sing. Okay, take a couple of seconds and just fill out the rest of these. Okay, so ella baila would be how we say she dances. Nosotros vamos is we go. Usted duerme is you sleep. If you're talking to someone older you respect or a stranger. Yo soy is I am. Ellas quieren, they want. Ta-da! Okay, so all that being said, I taught you like second 6 weeks in this class how to say I like. And I told you that you never say yo gusta. It sounds so bad. Nobody once has asked me, Señor Anderson, why is this a crazy thing that happens in Spanish? What is the reason behind this? I didn't want to explain it then because I figured like your brain would explode, so I did not go into that. But whenever we use the verb gustar, we used object pronouns. Notice these are subject pronouns up here, and these are object pronouns, and these are very different. So instead of saying I, it's me. Instead of you, it's to you. Instead of he, I believe it would be him, us, and then them, I think is what they are in English. So whenever this happens, instead of up here we have the subject does the action. Just go with me. I'll explain it. The subject does the action. I think, he walks. The object receives. How do you spell receives? I think that's right. Somebody call me out if that's not right. Receives the action. So he gave the card to me. I saw him. She hit him. Okay, so these are object pronouns. So here's a couple of examples of how we use object pronouns. If I want to say it's important to me, I receive the action. It's important to who? It's important to me. So I would say me importa. This is also a little way to say that I care. In Spanish, we would say me importa. If I want to say it interests you, I would say te interesa because it's interesting to you. You receive the action. It's not important to us. This is another way to say I don't care. This is how we say I don't care in Spanish. I would say no me importa. If I say no importo, conjugate it to the yo form, like a subject, yo no importo, what I'm saying is I am not important. I don't want to say I am not important. I want to say it is not important to me. Just like that. Okay, so it doesn't interest him would be no le interesa. Okay, I know this may be a little complicated, so we're not going to let it stress us out. I just wanted to show you why these ones exist. These are for objects if they receive the action in a sentence, and these are subject pronouns, the most common. The thing that's weird is in Spanish, we learn the verb gustar. In English, gustar is not an object pronoun verb. It's a subject pronoun verb. I like, you like, he likes, she likes, we like. In Spanish, the verb literally means to be pleasing. Okay? That's why we say me gusta, me gusta instead of yo gusta. Go ahead and put it next to that. Literally in Spanish, we say vegetables are not pleasing to me. Not, I don't like vegetables. And that's why we say me instead of yo. Here are some important rules to remember with gustar. This should be easy from yesterday. Never say yo gusta. Never say tu gusta. Remember, we would say a mí me gusta or a ti te gusta. You will make me angry. You will have to include an object pronoun. Every sentence is going to have an object pronoun. Object pronoun, you should know now, are me, te, le, nos, les. They're up here. Me, te, le, nos, les. Okay? If something you like is plural, of course, we're going to say gustan instead of gusta. And if you name the person, even if you're naming the specific person like my mom, don't make jokes. If I say my mom likes whatever she likes, what does my mom like? My mom likes Judge Judy. You would have to put a in front because I name a specific person, even though I don't name her specifically. If you name the person, you must put an a in front of their name. Okay, but you have to always, always, always have the me, te, le, nos, les. Okay, that's it for the first page. Second page, this is where we get to something new. So remember, this says blue words, but it's printed, so you can't really see them blue. These words right here are going to be optional. You don't have to say them. However, if you name more than one person, so if you want to say my family and I like, you would say a mi familia. You can't say I. You can't say yo. You can't say a yo. You would have to say a mí nos gusta. So you only have to use this if you're mentioning more than one person. My friends and I like. My family and I like. Senor Henderson and I like. You have to put the a mí or a ti. Okay, so this week we're talking about quehaceres, which is the word to say chores in Spanish. To talk about when it's someone's turn to do something or their responsibility to do something, we must use the verb tocar with an object pronoun. It looks something like this. Before we talk about this, let me tell you, this verb tocar can mean a lot of different things. Let me tell you what it means. The verb tocar can mean to knock at a door. The verb tocar can mean to touch. Like if you're touching somebody or something, it's to touch. The verb tocar, as you well know, can mean to play an instrument. And it can also be used to show whose responsibility something is. So, if in my house, when I was growing up, I had two older sisters, right? And so like they had their chores and I had the things that I had to do. Maybe you live in a wonderful world where you don't have any responsibilities. That's so awesome. I had to do a lot of stuff. So when I was growing up, it was always my turn or my responsibility to fold clothes. It was my responsibility to mow the lawn. It was my responsibility to take the trash out. It was my responsibility to wash the dogs. So when you say it's my responsibility, the good thing is we're going to use the word toca. Sorry, I think it froze a little bit. Use the verb toca in every single one of these, but I would say me toca. Me toca. It's my turn, my responsibility to do something. The verb toca is not going to change. We're just going to put our object pronouns there as well. Le toca, nos toca, les toca. And this, of course, is yes, how you would say it. Your turn, it's his turn, her turn. It's our responsibility, our turn. Their responsibility, their turn. I don't really know a better way to explain this in English. I don't really think this exists in English. But for example, if I say a mí, that needs an accent mark, me toca siempre sacar la basura. I would say it always falls on me. It's always my job. It's always my responsibility. That's what this sentence is saying. It's saying it's always my job, my responsibility. I don't give y'all near enough space to take out the trash. Maybe I write too big. Okay. A mi hermana nunca le toca lavar los trastes. This is true. My sister never has to. It's never her responsibility. Here's le toca. It's never, my sister never. Has to. We can say has to because that's kind of what it means. Wash the dishes. Okay. If I want to say it's all our responsibility to clean our rooms, in Spanish we have the word everybody, all of us, everything, every day, and that special word is todo. So if I want to make a sentence that says it's everybody's responsibility, I would say, because I'm naming somebody specifically, everybody, a todos with an S because it's everybody, more than one person. And then would I use me, te, le, nos, or les if I want to say it's everybody's responsibility to clean our rooms? Okay, so nos toca, and then I have to say to clean our rooms. Limpiar. Our in Spanish is nuestro. And then I'm going to use the word cuarto because I think that's the word we have in our our vocabulary this time. So there's one quick thing. Nuestro ends in an O. What is ours? Our room. Our room is plural, so we want to make sure and make our nuestro plural as well. All right, so what if you're like sitting here saying, I have a lot of money, and in my house, I don't have to do anything. We pay people to mow the lawn, and we pay people to do chores, and we pay people to do this and that. How amazing is your life? That's fine. So what we're going to say is you may have come to something where you're like, nobody really does that. And so what we're going to say is we're going to say the word for nobody, which is nadie. A nadie le toca is how we would say nobody does this. And then I'll simply say cortar el pasto. Okay, this video is going a lot longer than I thought it would, so let me go ahead and finish up. We're going to do some practice in class today. Gilberto can't be seen. And we're going to make sentences. We're going to say that this is always, or this is someone's responsibility to do something. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out, okay, if it's Gilberto, what object pronoun am I going to use? Okay, the word toca never changes. And so then I have to figure out what is the chore that he is doing. Okay, so my sentence is going to look like this. I'm going to say a Gilberto, I'm going to say siempre le toca, and I believe he is cleaning the kitchen. And that's your sentence. Okay, when you get here, you have a stopping point. I think I'm either going to have you study on Quizlet if you finish so your friends can finish, or you can finish working on your bell work. But that's it for your notes, my friends. If you finish this, you have 100 if you have all 4 pages complete, and I will check that probably tomorrow. Thank you for participating, and I will talk to you in a bit. Adios.